You're listening to a podcast from the Finnish Football Show.
Yes, it's the Finnish Football Show. I'm Mark Wiltshire and I'm here with the final episode in the Veikkausliiga preview season for this year. We've got 4 more teams being discussed today by fans from that club. We're going to hear from a fan of Jaro, SJK Seinäjoki, KuPS Kuopio and VPS Vaasa. Each of them will introduce themselves and again, as has been happening throughout this series, I'll see you one more time at the end.
Hi, I'm Jules and I'm going to tell you about SJK. Well, actually, I'm not going to tell you about SJK because I've got somebody who actually knows what they're talking about. So who's here with me?
Hi, I'm Lari. I'm the former SJK media officer and SLO, and also the fan and one of the supporters group member since the start of the club. So I know SJK.
Yeah. The Kloppit, the fans of SJK have the number 12 because we're the 12th man on the pitch, and Lari is the number 12. He is the one who got everything rolling. If you want to know anything about SJK, you ask Lari. So, Lari, tell us who's left the club and who's come in.
Oh, so we have some major leave outs like Ville Tikkanen left for HJK, and then Pyry Hannola is now on loan in Poland, and he's not coming back. I think because he's playing all the time over there, and he's having a good season, and he still want to go outside Finland, so he's staying there. And also Jaime Moreno left us, so there's kind of like 3 important players who left us, and
the spine of the team really has gone.
Captain of the team, yeah, really the spine of the team. There's like the captain of the team and the important midfielder who has like 7 assists last season, and then also Jaime Moreno, who is the best goal scorer in Veikkausliiga and also for SJK. So they are important and also experienced players. But that is something what SJK is doing all the time. We have every season we have some players who are leaving us, and then we have young players who are coming over and they are growing into the team. We have done that already 2 or 3 seasons ago, and there has been players like Valentin Kask and Papa Karpati who has been coming over from the academy team, and then they are now star players of our club. So who was thoughting that Valentin Kask or Papa Karpati would be so good when they arrived? So people are expecting that we have players who doesn't have the name yet, but they are young players, but they are already kind of like experienced players also. They have been some of those players have been playing outside Finland. They have been playing in Veikkausliiga already, even though they are like 19 or 21 years old. Yeah. And that is something we have. Those players who are coming over from our own academy, like Oskari Väistö, who has been playing in Finnish youth national teams, and he's our own product, and he's definitely something who will grow on to be one of the leading defenders.
I agree that we've developed a lot of players, and a lot of players who you could say were inexperienced and have now got 1, 2 full seasons under their belt. And for example, Gask is, well, for me, he's one of the first names on the team sheet. He's like you certainly know when he's not there. But what about other players that have come in? Who's joined us?
We have some new players like Samuel Sukvudi he's from Faroe Färsaaret in Finnish, but Faroe Islands in English, and he's the national team player over there. He's a strong and tall guy, center back who is really fitting in, and he can also play ball. So he's not just strong and not the stopper kind of guy. He can also play. And then we had this some young players who came over, who has a Veikkausliiga experience already. Elias Mastokangas and Marius Könkkölä and players like those. And then we had this new striker or winger, more like winger, who came last week, Vargas, Alenis Vargas. I almost forgot his first name. Alenis Vargas, who is from Honduras, but he's from MLS club, Kansas City football club, and he has been playing over there already one season, and he's only 21 years old, and he has been voted one of the fastest player in MLS. So he's really something, and I think he might be really good. Good for our team because he's more playing on the right side, and we have players like Pan and Laine who can play on the left side, and also our oldest player Rasmus Karjalainen is also more in the left wing. So we have now that, and also we got last season we got this one player Momodou Boyang, who is kind of like new player for this season because he didn't play so much last season.
So what do you think this means for us? What's going to be our Veikkausliiga position at the end?
I think we can do anything. If everything goes well, we can do anything because basically our team is really young.
Yep.
Average of the team is something like 21 years old or something like that, and that can really do something. They can grow in. They are doing everything right, and I can see that we could be champions, or we can be somewhere around 7th or 8th place or something like that. But I think our kind of like goal is to be on the top 3 or top 4.
Yeah, I agree 100% with that.
And the Euro place. Yeah.
Europe. It all depends on the draw, but obviously we want to get through the first rounds. How far do you think we could go?
Yeah, it really depends on the draw, and also because SJK haven't been playing in Europe lately so frequently. So we are not seeded team. So we are kind of like unseeded team. We might be seeded for the first round. I'm not sure about that, but I think we are seeded for the first round, and then it depends a little bit about that. I think we managed to get at least for the second round, and then if the draw is good, then we can go a little bit farther away. I think it's more for the young team. It's more like for that moment, kind of like at the moment might be really good for us, or the moment might be something that we it depends how we are doing on the league, and if players have the confidence and they are doing everything, then everything is possible also over there.
But an exciting season coming up, and I'll see you behind the goal.
Yeah. All right. Thanks.
Yeah. Thanks, Larry.
So yeah, please introduce yourself and your club and what you have to do there at the club.
Yes, hello Mark, thanks for the invite. I'm Petter Brunell, I'm a Jaro supporter. I'm also a SLO for the club. Been supporting the team since I was born.
Very good. So Jaro last year had the promotion from Veikkausliiga into Veikkausliiga through the playoffs. First of all, tell me a little bit about that. How was the experience last year of coming up to the Veikkausliiga?
It was amazing. We have been waiting for this for many years, of course. We're a club that we are used to being in Veikkausliiga, and when we got relegated, it was so difficult and not funny, of course, for us. But now we're back, and and through the qualification against Lahti, it was just amazing. The first game home went absolutely perfect. Then also, even though we were in 2-0 lead, I knew that it was going to be very difficult playing away, especially if they got a bad start, which they also got, of course. But it was pain in almost 100 minutes. But afterwards, it was like, one of the best days of my life, I would say.
Fantastic. And so the club clearly needs to strengthen the squad for the Veikkausliiga season. How has that been going so far? Which new players have you signed, and also which players have left your club?
Yeah, well, we have signed quite a lot of new players, of course, and I would say top of my mind, I think the most important additions are maybe Kerfala Sissoko. He's a striker from Sweden, or he played in Umeå FC, and he has been scoring a lot of goals the two last seasons, and it seems like he is the perfect fit for Jaro and is one guy that they have been searching for. He's like quite fast, good with the ball, and I have big hopes for that one. Then also Robin Polly is right back, has quite a good CV. He's been playing in the Netherlands, and very secure with the ball, good technique, can play in small spaces, and he's on the right level, I would say. And then also we have Filip Valensic, who is also, I think that one. He's been good in Veikkausliiga. He's been proving himself that he's a good player, but that was, of course, many years ago. Now he's trying with Jaro, and what I have been seeing in the preseason games, he looks better than I thought, actually.
Okay.
A more defensive role in Jaro, it looks like, because he's dropping down. He wants the ball all the time. He's also delivering it quite in a quite good way. So I have also quite big hopes for him. He can be really important for us.
It sounds a bit like the latter-day Harry Kane role, where he's playing up front but dropping deep and winning the ball and making things happen from there.
Yeah, exactly. But I would think his best position would be like a false nine, But in the games what I have been seeing, he's like going down to the defensive midfield or picking up the ball from there, and then he's like going with it forward. But it has looked good. I think it's a good. He seems like a good player now, even if he's older now. But then also we have defenders. Erik Gunnarsson, he's a Swede. He has quite good reputation in Sweden. He has played in the second tier there, and looks quite solid. Not maybe the superstar that I would have liked to see, but he seems good enough. And then also another Swede, it's like he's in the left winger, Samuel Isontumoa, I think it's pronounced that. He's quite fast, good 1-against-1, can go through the defenders, and I haven't seen that much of him. He's had a bit problems with injuries also in his career, so it's quite a risky, player to get in the squad, because I don't know how much he will play. But what I have been seeing now in the preseason games, he's quite okay. Not sure if he's Veikkausliiga level, but we will see.
It will also be nice to see Sergei Eremenko back in the Veikkausliiga as well. Yeah,
it will be also important year for him as well. I think now is the time to shine, I think, for him. He's been outstanding in Ykkösliiga with Jaro. absolutely brilliant, fantastic. So now it will be interesting to see if he can deliver also on the highest level.
Yeah, he was very young when he played for SJK in the Veikkausliiga, and there were I think flashes there, but never completely owned it. But now, more experienced, has played in elsewhere in Finland and also in Russia. So yeah, another one to keep an eye out for sure.
Absolutely, yeah, he will be one of the most important player this season.
Well, for people who haven't seen Jaro, because not being in the Veikkausliiga for some years, what kind of style of football do they play? What can we expect from the team?
Well, they have been when they played in Ykkösliiga last year. They were quite like this compact team, very aggressive. A lot of them are like Jaro junior players, so they know each other. It was like a good team spirit. It's a good teamwork, not necessarily a lot of the big star names, but they played for each other. So I would say that was the strength. Quite aggressive playing style and very tight defense play. Defensive, very, very solid.
So it's going to take some work to try and break them down.
Yeah, I think so, and they proved that also against KuPS and other teams. They can be really real solid, and against Lahti also they played quite good defensively also in that game, in my opinion. So, but now they have played AC Oulu training game. They lost 4-0. Then they played a week later against Ilves also 4-0. So. Now it's more difficult, of course, this season. But I think if they of course they tried different style and they tried to play more attacking football maybe. But I think the defense play must work this year also if they want to manage.
After those 2 4-0 defeats, are you still excited for the Veikkausliiga season?
Yeah, of course. Yeah,
what are you excited about?
Yeah, well, I have to say when we have the new stadium now coming, it will be ready now, I think, in July. So I look really forward to go to those games and to the new stadium, but because it looks just amazing. It's like a real nice football stadium close to the pitch, and yeah. From the pictures I've seen and everything, it looks so good. So I'm looking forward to that.
You have a new home to welcome guests to.
Yeah, exactly. And I think it will be on the short sides. There will be like a standing. It's like standings. So you it's not these plastic chairs there. So it's nice for away supporters go there, and also for home fans because it will be like a standing ground.
Well, I think SJK are coming to Jaro in August, so the new stadium should be open by then.
Yeah, it should be.
And with a bit of luck in August, still nice weather as well.
Yeah, it could be really nice atmosphere then, I think.
How do you? So obviously it's going to be tough. It's always tough for the promoted teams. But how do you think your team's going to get on in the 2025 season?
Well, of course, as you said, it will be tough for every team that gets promoted. It's tough, and if you've seen also the check on the numbers, then we have the smallest player budgets by quite a big margin, and every media papers and everyone are like guessing we're going to be at the bottom. So it will be difficult. Preseason hasn't gone all that great, to be honest. I have not been that happy, and with the new signings, some of them, maybe three of them are like absolutely Veikkausliiga level. Maybe the rest question marks. I think they're still searching for one more player, midfielder. So I hope that one will be a good addition. But it will be difficult. But I think they still can manage because there are also other teams that doesn't look that good. Mariehamn is one of them. They look. I'm not so convinced about that team. And then maybe Haka is another one. VPS I don't think also is going to be top 6. So yeah, difficult, but I think we will be above Mariehamn at least.
Welcome 2025. Last season in Kuopio ended as a double champion party, and then Jani Honkavaara ended his successful spell in Kuopio and was replaced by Jarkko Viss, who is now the head coach. They were expected to have many changes in the team, but in the end, the biggest change is actually the change in coaching. Jarkko Viss is the main man, but still Sixten Boström is working as his assistant, as he was also during the past seasons. And also Boström will have the role of the sports director. So on that sense, there is a bit of a stability as well in the coaching segment. The team didn't change that much. It was expected that Siltanen would move abroad. And as we all know, KuPS got more than 1 million euros of his trade to Djurgården. Then other names who were really effectful last season, Vidjeskog, he moved to Sweden as well. And then Seth Saarinen and defensive multitool Taneli Hämäläinen chose to move to Dutch second tier. So there has been some changes, but still there is experience in the team from the past seasons when Johannes Kreidal is still the best goalkeeper in the series. Ibrahim Cissé and Samuli Miettinen both are staying in Finland, at least for this spring. There were rumors that Cissé would go to Sweden. And also Taneli Miettinen, who is in the U21 squad, there were rumors that he would go to Malmö when his agent is Martin Dahlin, the former Swedish star, but nothing has happened yet. I spoke briefly with Tomi Erola, who was visiting Seinäjoki when SJK was playing against KuPS, and he said that there has been interest in the multiple players of the KuPS squad, but the offers haven't been met by the club, so Cissé is staying, and also many other players who were expected to move abroad, such Jaakko Oksanen and also Clinton Anpi from the left flank. Everybody is staying in Kuopio. So the squad is pretty established, and there is experience, and then there are younger talents, which seems to be the way to operate in the club nowadays. Young players came in. Muhammed Touré joined from Turku, Rasmus Tikkanen from Iisalmi. He's a 17-year-old left back who has already made an impact during this season. Let's see how it will go when he reaches the Veikkausliiga level. And then also Arttu Lötjönen joined from Sampdoria Academy. And KuPS made an interesting move on cooperating with a club in Ghana, Dreams FC, and two players came from there, Derek Atta Agay and Boateng. They both have already played in the League Cup, and it's expected that they will have some sort of role also in this season's squad, and they will get some minutes because they looked pretty okay already in League Cup after only training a few weeks with the club. And of course, it can take a bit of a time to adjust in the European football, but so far they have been used in the squad rotation system, so they will give some depth to the defense. Then in the midfield, Doni Arifi is certainly the biggest signing. I would say he chose to come to KuPS because of Jarkko Viss and because of the European project, and it will be interesting to see how he will be playing with Jaakko Oksanen. It's also one of the biggest questions if they will find the balance in making the gameplay, how KuPS will be successful this season. Also, Samuel Pasanen was a good signing from Lahti, but unfortunately he was injured in a preseason friendly, so he will miss the biggest part of the season. So it will be seen when he's back, maybe in September, October, but it was an ACL injury, so it will take some time. Petteri Pennanen, once again, maybe one of the most interesting players in the league. It's been said already many years that he's too old, but still, as we saw last season, he can be the one to win big games. Jari Voutilainen wasn't that good last season, but he's had a bit more solid preseason now, so hopefully he would find the form to work as he was in Honka when he was one of the best midfielders in the league. And then some names to watch. Jocelyn Lujea-Lutumba was really good after the summer season, but then got injured and couldn't play in the latter parts of the year. So I think he's like a fresh player for the club. Already seems a bit like a forgotten player, but for me, he showed really some signs of being a quality last season. So really looking forward on seeing how he will do this season. And then Otto Ruoppi, who is in the U19 national team. I think he's one player to watch and definitely the player to take some steps and a bigger role in the team. But it remains to be seen what will be his best role. He's an attacking player, but in which position he should be used, it's been a lot discussed this preseason that what's the role for him. He's so lively, he can score, he can assist. Really nice ability to have a look at the game, but so far we haven't seen the best of him yet. But I'm looking forward on his season and development really much. Saku Savolainen, I would say that he will start the season as a fullback, because now when recording this on Sunday, we just saw the game against Haka on Saturday, and Clinton Antwi got injured, and then also Bobni Arma, who came from SJK, he's injured as well. So KuPS will need to find some players to work as the fullbacks or as a wingbacks if playing with the three at the back. So that's a question for Wish when the season is opening in Turku. Agon Sadiku is the guy now up front as the number 9 who will need to find his best form. In preseason, he has scored goals, many of them coming from the penalty spot, but I would say that KuPS has a better position in the attacking force at the moment than they had a year ago, when Sadiku has shown that he has the pace, he has the ability to find the scoring spots. So that's a good sign, but will he be doing more than 10 goals? Let's see. If KuPS wants to fight for the championship, he needs to score more than 10 goals. But overall, I would say that KuPS can be fighting for the championship title, but even the squad is balanced. It has a mix of youngsters and more experienced players. They still need to find new players if they want to keep on battling on the championship title till the end of the end of the season, because there will be more games in Veikkausliiga, and also if they win the first tie in the Europe, there will be 8 more games in the Europe during 2 months in summer. So they are looking for the squad additions, but they haven't been doing any moves in rush. That's also what the CEO Tomi Erola highlighted, that they have been really investing into the scouting. They don't want to make bad decisions because they have experience from investing into players who haven't had the quality. So they want to be sure that they really find the right guys to work for the whole team. I'm really waiting for the start of the season, and the team looks good, but the playing of the team hasn't been that. The form hasn't been that solid this winter, so I'm looking forward on Jarkkowicz's project, how it will start the season, and if they will find the continuity that Honkavaara's side showed. This is a pragmatic coach, and supporters are a bit of unaware that how the team will play, but the points will matter, and if they can start the season well, then there is no other option than just fight for the battle, just fight for the championship title.
Right, I'm Sebastian Pundars, supporter and SLO for Vaasan Palloseura, or VPS.
Thanks for joining us, Sebastian. Tell us which new players has VPS signed for 2025 season?
We've signed quite a few, to be honest. I think there has been a larger change in the squad during this winter, maybe than in the recent years. We signed back Tyler Reed, who was probably one of the best right backs in the league a couple of years ago, and we signed Maisa Fall, who has been doing a great job at Haka in the last few years. And some other guys as well. Mats Borgers, old teammates, Wilmer Rönnberg and Yasin Eluatki, for example, and a few more. So we had quite an active winter this year.
And what about those that left the club? Is there any that were surprising or particularly disappointing for the fans?
Probably Yevgeny Bashkirov has left the largest hole in the squad. He was a very liked player at VPS and who went to Gnista. We also lost Teemu Hytönen, who scored actually quite a few goals, which may have surprised some people. He left for Ilves, and then we lost Teemu Pitkänen, who has been at the club since we were in the second division a few years ago. That's the key players who left this winter, I think.
What about the rest of the rest of the squad, the players that stayed, that were playing last season and stayed? Who is going to be important? Obviously, you know, we can see some of the more familiar names there, but from the squad, who do you think is going to be important this year?
I think foremost Mats Borgers, who probably would have won the scoring league last season, but he got injured in July. He will definitely be a good. He's like a new signing, as they used to say. You know?
Yeah.
He will be important for sure. And of course, Prosper Abiahu has been important for many years now in the midfield. Jonttu Vahtera, I think the central line in general is quite good. It's quite intact from last season. We also have Martti Haukioja, for example, at centre back, and Teppo Marttinen, who's been guarding the goal for some years as well. The biggest maybe questions before or in the beginning of the winter were the flanks, but we've come up with some new names: Tyler Reed and Tristan Decker, for example, and some new guys. We have a really talented young guy, Kalle Huhta, who's been representing the youth national teams as well on the flank. So I think in the end we've replaced the old guys with some interesting names, and also I think the squad in general is broader and better than it's been for many years at VPS.
Okay, so you're going into this season optimistic.
Yeah, quite. I think the biggest concern is the injury, which is probably for most clubs. But we have, for example, Tyler Reed. He didn't really play in the last half year or so at the Sheriff Tiraspol. Tristan Decker joined the club after being 1-2 seasons without playing at all. But he has somewhere around 100 league games in the Netherlands. And also the new signing at the centre back, Wilmer Rönnberg, has some concussion issues. I'm not quite sure if he will play at all this season. And Jonttu Vahtera, he always gets injured at some point of the season. So of course, but if the squad can be somewhat intact, I think of course the top half is like the minimum ambition for this squad we have now.
Does that mean that you feel excited about this season?
To be honest, we've become familiar during Jussi Nuorala that this League Cup and all the winter phase is quite. It doesn't say anything at all about the season. To be honest, we're rotating quite a lot, and I can't recall like a single preseason with him that has been spectacular in any sense. So yeah, we're quite optimistic around the club. I think in general for the upcoming season.
I think it's quite normal that Liga Cup. We're recording this just after the Liga Cup final, some crazy 4-4 game that Inter finally won on penalties. But a lot of clubs consider this as kind of part of their pre-season training program anyway, leading up to the Veikkausliiga starting. So I'm not sure how much you can really take from those games.
I think it's a strange competition, to be honest. You know, there is just a small prize pool, and I mean, the games in that sense, it's only to get the squad fit, kind of. So I think it's been the case most of the years for the last 30 years. So I think we have to live with it.
Yeah, but then also the flip side is that you get some kind of semi-competitive football during the winter when it would be quite a long period to just play friendly practice games.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Of course, the schedule is set. You have the 5 games in the modern group stage, but actually it caused some concerns. We the last friendly before the season was KuPS on Saturday, and we had issues finding an opponent because some clubs were still in the League Cup when this was decided some weeks ago, and you know, I think March is kind of difficult for the club. We also had a friendly against SJK's second team, I think, and then we played in Sundsvall. But yeah, it's a bit of both. You have some good stuff and you have some bad stuff with the League Cup. But I think the coaches at least prefer it compared to the Finnish Cup that we had some years ago during the winter, because then the rules are you are a bit more tied to your squad. You can test the new players in the same way as in the League Cup.
Yeah, and it also gives a little bit more I don't know, credibility and importance to the Suomen Cup. It felt like they'd sort of lowered the prestige of it a little bit for those couple of years where it was played during the winter.
Yeah, that's true.
What do you think? You said you're aiming for the top half in the Veikkausliiga. How important is Suomen Cup to VPS?
That's a funny question that we think of every year because we have never won it. We were once in the final and we lost, of course. But of course that's maybe something, because we have to be realistic. The league is tough to win, especially if you compare us to Ilves or KuPS or SJK with quite a lot of more money. But yeah, I think that it has the charm, the cup, and I think, well, of course, the coaches also always say it's important and the shortest way to Europe and so on. But I think only winning itself, if we don't look at the European spot, I think would be a huge thing and something everyone kind of hopes for. But you know, most people are thinking that it's only 5 games or 4 games you have to win, but in the end we will never succeed.
But it's only 5 games, but you've got to win all those games, and it's not always easy to put that run together. Obviously, how many clubs have won it over the years? It seems like it's often KuPS or HJK, and occasionally they share it around the rest in recent years.
Yeah, and of course you need a bit of luck when you're drawn against another league team. You maybe have to play it away or something like this. And in the last years, it's been quite tragic for us, to be honest. I think we met a couple of lower league teams in the first round, and then we met a league team and lost on penalties or something like this.
Is there anything else you'd like to say about VPS as a club, as a team, how the season's coming ahead?
Well, I think VPS will be quite entertaining to watch this season now when we have both flags secured with some talent. Nuorela has been by far, I think, the longest coach compared to the other clubs. So even though we're kind of set in the way we're playing, we've got the pieces together. So I think it will be a great team to watch this season, to be honest. Also with the young guys. As far as the club goes, what would I say? I want to think that we're quite a sympathetic club to watch. Of course, we have some rivalries, and now after 10 years, we have the derby against the Jaro in the league. So I think that will be a couple of highlighted matches to watch for neutrals this season.
And of course, this very important Pohjanmaa-liiga that crops up every few years when there's a few clubs from Pohjanmaa, which of course outside of our region nobody's even probably aware even is calculated. But good luck for this season, and thanks for joining us today.
Thank you. Have a nice one.
Okay, one more time. Thank you to Petter from Jaro, from regular contributor Jules and Lari from SJK, Jouni from KuPS, another regular, and a new fan to the Finnish Football Show roster, Sebastian from VPS Vaasa. Thanks to all the contributors from all the different episodes in this series. If you want a little bit more SJK chat, then myself, Jules and Larry, we made a season preview episode for the Seinäjoki Football Supporters podcast. If you search for that in your podcast player or on YouTube, you'll find that. And if you've had more than enough of SJK from the 8 minutes of Jules and Larry, then that's up to you as well, I suppose. We will be back throughout the season. Every second week is the plan with the Finnish Football Show. So give me a week or two to recover from this marathon recording and editing session, and we'll be back looking at what's happened in the first couple of rounds of the Veikkausliiga and the international football that's taking place at the moment, because there are some Helmerit games taking place in the next couple of weeks as well. Listener, thanks for your time, thanks for listening, and until the next episode of the Finnish Football Show, goodbye.
You've been listening to the Finnish Football Show. You can find us online at finishfootballshow.com. Remember to subscribe to the show wherever you're listening or watching. You can follow the Finnish Football Show page and group on Facebook and also on Instagram. Escape to Suomi on Twitter is now Finnish Football Show on X. And you will find us on Blue Sky at Finnish Football Pod. See the links in the episode description, along with the links to the Finnish Football Show merch shirts.